Okay, so good morning once again, and welcome to the 12th session. I just cannot believe we have reached this far. And though our session was supposed to be, the last session was supposed to be on wabi-sabi or a topic of the choice of the client that we say, what I have done today is because we will also be having an extra bonus session. One more session. So, and I wanted to complete this entire thing with Wabi Sabi as the last topic, because that would be a very beautiful ending to a very beautiful completion rather to the entire course. Hence, I kept it for next week. And there is another important thing that I wanted to discuss with you in terms of mind mapping and coaching together. So that is the main agenda for the day, where we'll be doing mind mapping, live mind mapping with some typical questions, exploring some typical questions about mind coaching and how we can integrate that with mind mapping so that we can serve our clients better. So that is the main purpose. And once that is done, I would also want to know if you have any questions or anything, which you can ask, of course, next week as well, because the Wabi Sabi thing is like a 40-minute session, and then there will be some more time for questions. Today also, if you have any questions that needs to be answered immediately, then obviously you can ask those questions after once we are done with this coaching thing. So shall we start?
Yeah.
I would want you to open your MindMeister in a while, or maybe even now you can open.
You have to disable the share.
Yeah, it's enabled. Yeah. I see even the Zoom has changed a lot.
Is it?
Yeah.
There are some issues on the side, right? I have upgraded that part, that I know.
So some new changes I can see. I just upgraded yesterday, so I can see some changes on Zoom as well.
So this is going to be my thing. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So have you? I cannot see the share.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. So we'll just write the. Okay, let's just put the title as what I want. I mean, you can think about the title, but what I want is exploring, coaching better with mind mapping or something like that. So it's a long one. We can think about a shorter title later on as we go forward. So it's more like when you're talking with your one-to-one clients, or whatever we will do now, you can replicate that in your sessions, and maybe of course the direction and some small tweaks here and there will happen because of the niche where you're offering, but otherwise the general questions remains the same. Yeah. So yeah, let me start. I have written down and we'll do one by one. So we'll call this as reflection guides, or you can just put a dash or maybe a bracket inside the words. Yeah, reflection guides. Okay. So I'll be telling you some questions, and for each of the questions, like later on, you can explore and you can do it for yourself. Maybe let's say you can take 1 week and do it for yourself, and then later on you can use the same thing for your clients. But right now, what we'll do is we'll just take 2 minutes or 3 minutes for each question just to understand, and then you can do the exercise later at home. So the first one is, you can put A. Already, or A. Yeah, we'll start with this. We'll always start with this first, just capital A. Yeah, and then another branch. Okay, so here what we would want to do is, like, for example, we are meeting someone for the first time. This is like the first time that we are meeting that person. We don't have much idea about the person, maybe except for some educational background or some small details about the life, which we have taken either through a Google form or maybe through some questionnaires, generally that we do with clients, some questionnaires, something. So beyond that, we don't have any data of the client or any data of our mentee. So the first thing, or first A that we start in coaching or anything that we want is, I would repeat them. I mean, because this is recorded, you can also see the questions later, or I'll send you. The first thing is that we ask them that for a moment, reflect on a sense of purpose and progress that you have experienced. And this thing, it can be because of an important decision, a surprising risk, or an unfamiliar struggle that you have worked through in your past. I'm repeating, something, reflect for a moment on a sense of purpose and progress. Something that happened in the past, a sense of purpose and progress that you felt, and this was because of some important decision or a risk that you took at that moment, and something that worked through it. Actually, you actually uh, dealt with it in a very positive way. So think about something, and in that moment, the question is, in that moment, what did you discover about yourself? Something, some positive aspect of your personality. What did you discover about yourself? A trait about yourself. Maybe you are very strong, maybe you are very resilient. Something you discovered about yourself in that moment. Okay, and the next thing is, once you realize this, ask yourself, what is already clear to you? Something that is already clear, that yes, this is something I really care about. Some value of your life, some principle of your life, something that you really care about, or maybe it could be a vision, something that you really care about. And that thing you got to understand only by reflecting upon that past experience. So now this will very strongly tell you about something about that is already there in you, but maybe you have not realized so far. So this is the question. So maybe you can take just 2 minutes, and if something is coming to your mind, you can just write down also. A struggle, a risk, a decision.
Yeah, I
Okay.
I think that for me, in my re-awakening happened during the pandemic itself. I think it was that, the struggle that all of us were going through, that we were confined and we weren't able to do a lot of things that we had been doing. And that whole thing brought me back to that whole reflective journey, that what was that thing that actually kept me alive, kept me going and kept me moving every day? Like, I could do it. And what I enjoyed actually. And I realized that I always enjoyed the training, education. And that was something that, I had pushed away from myself. I was not doing it anymore.
Okay.
And then, so I think that was my refinding my purpose, that I had been lost for a few years, where I was not wanting my past struggle, where I been asked to leave from the university, and I just didn't want to accept that. And as a result, I had stopped teaching. And then when COVID happened, I realized that, that was something that I actually really enjoyed about myself. And, uh, and, uh, and education, and because through education, what we talked about now, we know the 3E principle that we have, which is educate, empower, and enlighten. I think that whole thing came up, that gave me all those values and principles of my life, which give me a sense of purpose for doing what I do.
Wow. So I think already this is already something you are, or I mean, you have already undergone this journey. And as you have said that, I mean, what I want is whatever you have said now, if you can just somewhere write down, or maybe even if later you see the
I'll just put it
recording.
here. Yeah, we'll just put it over here.
Just maybe a keyword, and then it will spark all that memory.
COVID, and then
Finding your purpose. Yeah, I mean, or refinding. I mean, it was there.
I would say
You knew it.
refinding.
Yeah, because it was there already. Yeah.
Refining what?
And if I come to the question, what is already that you care about? I think that was sharing your knowledge or teaching and training. That is something that really matters to you.
Yeah, exactly. Refinding what kept me going and I enjoyed was actually teaching and 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 learning and education, training. So I think this is what happened, and from there, finding my values.
Excellent.
3E, which is basically educate, in power and in. Okay, so yeah, these are the whole thing that happened.
Yeah. So you just cannot think about it. I mean, when I say care, what something that I really care about, or it is very clear to me that I care about this, and it is very clear. There is no doubt that I like teaching or I like mentoring people. So I mean, that's what you're trying to say, that this is something I already know. It is there. It just that redefining thing happened because of that struggle, risk, decision, whatever, something in that moment, or maybe it was not in a moment, but over a period of time, as you said, during pandemic.
Yeah, so I think it was that I was pushing away things that I was struggling with. That sense of loss as an educator, which I had felt. So I think it was that sense of loss was also very, sense.
I think I mean, this is little off track with what we are discussing. Maybe I'll go to the next point D. I mean, we'll just go A, B, C, D, and then we'll see that.
Yeah.
But before that, I would just write down because, you are also an educator and you have been in this field for so long. And you also know what are the struggles of an educator. I mean, in any country, educators have some struggles, some have some challenges, and it is same across the world. But that is what I found after listening to so many people. I keep meeting. I do these Zoom meetings. These are like not recorded ones. I go off track, unrecorded virtual chat just to understand people better and about the experiences. So I came across many people, and then there was this one lady, Jacqueline, who hosted this Teacher Story podcast. So I was just thinking I'm going to meet her in recent times, January again. We meet like 2 to 3 times in a year. So I'll be referring. I mean, if you will, I mean, if you permit, I would refer your name to her because it would be great to know about your journey as an educator. So she hosts a podcast. So would you want me to refer your name?
Yeah, sure. I think after seeing one of your posts, I think I started following her. She has a podcast, right? Jacqueline
Teacher
something.
story.
She's
Yeah,
from
teacher
Australia?
story. Yeah, no, she is from US. So,
Okay.
but right now she is under some teacher exchange program, and she's going under. So, she hosts this. Recently, she has interviewed one of her own student, who is now a teacher.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
we were discussing. So we generally do like normal chatting and all also. Not beyond LinkedIn, we go do that. So she always tells me, please refer some. I mean, educators from across the. We refer to each other. That okay, this she's also an educator. He's also an educator. So I would love to refer your name because that would be add so much value to the entire thing, because you have a set of experience and it's a not just like 1 or 2 years, but it's a long duration. So you'll have a variety of experiences. So yeah, I'm writing that also in my diary.
Thank you. The book will be coming soon, Subra.
Oh wow!
It's coming in March. The
Excellent.
self-care and well-being among the for in academics. The you remember we talked about the one which was
Yes,
when I had asked you to write a chapter.
yeah. I
So
remember
that
that.
one will be coming in March.
Wow, that's amazing. I think I saw something somewhere. I mean, what happens in
Yesterday.
it?
I think it was
It just
yesterday.
flashes, yeah. And
Mhm.
sometimes the point with LinkedIn nowadays is the moment you are there in the post. First of all, it is not. It doesn't show me people whom I want to see. For example, it shows me some. I don't know. There is some issue with the algorithms. I'm having to go click the bell button of people, or otherwise I have to search. And the other thing is, suppose yesterday it showed by the moment I'm there to like or do something, it immediately it's gone, and then you have to keep on searching and scrolling.
Yeah.
But
No
I
worries.
remember in a flash, just like in a moment, I saw okay,
Yeah.
you, and so some that's there in
Yeah,
the
the lady was here, the serial editor was here.
yeah.
So yeah, it was coming up. Sure,
Okay.
I would more than be happy to be recommended for that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So the next one is we can put B. Yeah. Either 1, 2, or AB, something like that, but it's more like a step-by-step process. And so the next part of the reflection guide is we want to think about, I mean, the first purpose was that we want to think about a time when we took a decision or something risk. The next one is a little bit light-hearted. It is more about something that we don't realize, but we enjoy. Okay, so the question is, I'm writing, and you can take down the keywords. Think back, I mean, before even writing down, think back of a morning in one of your recent weeks that you really enjoyed. before writing, just think back of that morning, and from that morning we'll pick up the cues. Okay, I'm repeating, think back to a morning in a recent times that you really enjoyed, and though you did not quite plan, but everything went very well. Things came very effortlessly to you in that morning. So now think about, what was that morning all about? What did we enjoy? What did you enjoy? What did you do the night before that the morning went so well? Or after that morning, how did the day go by throughout? And how was that week? I repeat, think back to a morning that you really enjoyed in recent weeks. What was it about that morning that you enjoyed most? How did it begin? What did you do the night before? How was the day then, the rest of the day, how it went? And the leading week, how it went? And then I'll come to the second part of the activity. This is like first part of the activity. If you have, you can just take down 1 or 2 keywords from here. The night before and the same day.
Hmm.
Okay.
Morning activity.
Yeah, maybe just 2 minutes, and then we'll go to the in B again. There is another part. We'll do that. Some one kind one act in activity.
So a morning activity that I did that I enjoyed,
Yeah,
and why am I enjoying that? What had been done the night before, and
yeah.
how did the whole day go? Okay. So uh, one again, a realization of that there were some things in the pandemic that I was doing which had really helped me
Mhm.
to overcome many challenges. You know, the stress, anxiety, blah, 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 the uncertainty. And one of the things that I used to be doing was listening to a podcast on mindfulness.
Okay,
And the second one was about affirmations,
okay.
repeating that. So recently, when I was guiding a client of mine who wanted to work more on affirmations, I said, okay, and I'm redoing with her a chakra unblocking activity simultaneously. I realized that I had stopped listening to my affirmations and practicing it. I had stopped doing it. It's been nearly a year and a half. I
Okay.
occasionally do it, but I had stopped doing it. So what I did is, since January 1st, I actually started re-listening to
Okay.
my 10 minutes in bed. Actually, I don't even get out of bed. I just put, as soon as I get up, I put my positive affirmations that you, and while I'm sleeping, I'm listening to it. So that 10 minutes is whatever short thing goes on. So
Okay.
now that is something that I started. That's one morning activity I started doing.
Okay.
So, like for example, why do I enjoy it? Because obviously that's a that it's a good kickstart of the day. You're starting with bringing back um, one affirmation that sticks with you, even though there's so many. And then from there, I also went to then I find one that really resonates with me for that day.
Okay.
So like the last few days, every morning.
And are
I
you
just
feeling some difference in because of that in the entire day?
So when the day starts with an affirmation, but what I was saying is that then what I do is then based on that affirmation, whatever I've heard, then I go back and I said, okay, so then I go into my community and just send a message out, right? So today, like last 3 days, I think I've done it, 4 days. And yes, today's was happy morning to everyone. My today's affirmation is there's no limit to what I can achieve.
Wow.
So now
That's amazing.
yeah. So that's something that now I'm saying to myself, because obviously I'm struggling with, with my book, with my book that I wanted to finish doing for my dad. So I'm struggling with it. So I know it's a struggle, but I know that if I'm going to keep saying this, that there is no limits to what I can achieve, I'm telling my mind that yes, it's a struggle, but I will achieve it.
Yeah, and if you see it from, I mean, now that I'm listening to you, what I see is, when you say it as a struggle, is because, the amount of work that is going into it. But then if I see it from a third person's perspective, like not being involved in the process, not a member of your community, or not directly involved in the process of the book, I would say that you are someone who is not, choosing between A and B. You want it both. And that's okay. People say, okay, you can't have everything, you can't have, you can't have a family life and then look out. So you are saying, no, I will have everything, and with that a little bit of struggle will come, little bit of hard work, little, I mean, whatever that takes, I will do it all, but then I want everything. So that is like a, I don't know, but I would say that's a very strong personality trait, that I'm not going to compromise, because the statement is very much resonating with your affirmation. The affirmation that there's no limit.
There is no limit.
Yeah, people would say, or many people would say that, okay, even in Hindi say, they, to get something you have to lose something. So you're saying, no, I'm not going to lose something, I'll have both. I'll look after my parents, I'll excel in my career, I'm going to be a, yeah, on some days one will be a little bit, maybe today I did not get much time with my dad, today the day was spent in my book, tomorrow it will be with my children, but at the end of the day I know I'm going to, there is no limit, and I'm going to excel at everything.
Absolutely. That's exactly what my thought process is.
Yeah.
Yes, there may be struggles, but I'm going to achieve it all.
Yeah. So
like yesterday's one was also very interesting, I found, and it really resonated with me, was great opportunities are coming my way. So immediately that was another one, which is I'm telling myself that yes, one is there's no limit to my potential, and the second one, there are great opportunities coming my way. So I think that that particular morning activity this whole week has, even though I'm still struggling, trying to push, thoughts are coming to where should I do, how should I position the book, blah, 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 which I will talk to you later about also.
But I think that is the purpose. I mean, that is the entire, when you're using the word struggle also, I think that is the part of the process, and it will only add to the value that you're creating for yourself and for the world. So I think that's an amazing thing. So the next part of B is, now that you know about, you're fixed upon this, affirmations are really helping you and you want to start your day like this. So I would want that for this week, starting today, or maybe you can start the week tomorrow also, Wednesday to Wednesday you will do, or Tuesday, or before we meet next time, that one new habit can you install, and just it could be a 2 minutes habit. For example, what I do is, once in a while I start, today I have combed my hair with my left hand, just to be more mindful in the morning, or maybe brushing your teeth with the left hand. It means if your teeth brushing, the entire thing takes 2 minutes, it will take 4 minutes, double the time. So one activity, or it could be just, drinking your coffee with the left hand if your right hand is dominant. So I don't mean left or right, I just mean using your non-dominant hand can be one activity. Or maybe just the moment I get up, I will fold my blanket, or something of that sort. One activity, it need not be an elaborate one, but first thing in the morning, once you get up, or if not the first thing, but before your work day starts, or before you attend any
before my work started,
or before, for example, we are having a session, so it should not, it should be before the session actually, because you are already meeting someone, so it's more like during the me time whenever you are having. So one new habit that you will do every day for the next 7 days, and then you will just write down your experiences. Is that having any change at the end of the week or at the end of the day? So something new, something new. So
the new one that I have, actually I'm trying hard to do is two things actually which happened, Shubra. One was, you remember I told you I don't read, which
Yeah,
is a
yeah, yeah.
lie, which is a lie because I do read, right? Because I wasn't acknowledging it.
Yeah, I told you that you're already reading so much, maybe.
Exactly. So what I'm doing is now I'm doing a deliberate reading. That
Okay.
means this whole month, my aim is to read every day for 30 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Now that's like a reading activity. Like I'm telling my brain I'm reading.
Okay.
Now whether it's reading for, my reading is always for knowledge, which means it's not a casual reading. So what I did now this month is that I'm just going to show you. I ended up going to my this thing, my my monthly planner, and this January I actually created a reading corner to say that these are the two books I'm reading. Okay, but I'm reading two books. I can't be stuck with one.
Okay. No, that's
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so then this time I actually started putting the chapters. I haven't written the chapters of all these other days because I went to KL, so I missed a few days. And this book has gone missing. So I'm really getting irritated that my book has gone missing.
Oh.
But anyway, I will find it and I have to finish. So my goal is to finish this book this month and hopefully this book too. So two books I am hoping this month systematically I will finish, and I'm recording. So that was the big shift that I've created after we went through our sessions of
Wow. And maybe I can see in the mind map you have written down chapters and this thing, some pages also. Yeah. So this is like you do it entry day wise, or how is it done?
I'm supposed to be doing day wise. So it started on the third. I forgot on the intro which day I did it. So here I forgot to add in yesterday's one, what I had done. So which pages are left. So I'm still on chapter 2 and I'm adding on and this one is not there. So I'm actually supposed to be adding per day which entries of how many books are there.
Okay, that's a huge task, but I think, I mean, you will love it. I don't do day wise. I mean, this is great actually. If we can do, we have a complete accountability with ourselves, at least to start the practice.
Exactly.
And otherwise, what I would do is like each time I read, I will just note down some 4-5 key points. And maybe if I have a hand-drawn mind map or somewhere, I will just write down so that, and then once the book is over, I'll just go through all of them. Okay, this is the book about, and at least I will ensure, and this is again very selfish, but I would say, just to ensure that it does not go or fade away, I will talk to one person at least about this book. If I don't find anyone, I'm going to talk about it to my spouse. And, you know, I've completed this book and it's a wonderful book. Now, you may not be interested in my domain, but even then, or maybe I will talk with a friend. I'll just give a call and, you know, in the conversation, 10 minutes, talk about that book, and my brain will say, okay, now I know this book. And you can put this book now in any speech or anything, anywhere else.
Absolutely. That's what I'm going to do. I like your idea. I will do
you know,
that.
Even if it sounds selfish that, okay, you're doing it.
I don't care. I go make videos about what I learned. That's my way of
so I will go and I will tell at least one person in my circle, whoever is that person. I'll go and tell them, okay, this is a book this author has written. It was written in this, so that, you know, I'm telling all the information. This was written in this time, and you know, this book, if it has got any awards or anything, he's even, you know, the author is so and so, and this person has already written this many books. This book has this many chapters. So the person may be thinking, okay, she's crazy, but it's okay.
It's okay. I don't care. I like it. I will do that. I will
do that, and then you will ensure that, you know, that thing has gone to your long-term memory. Then you will not forget about this book anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So okay, you can continue with that habit rather than, you know.
No, I'll see.
Or maybe
but that doesn't happen before I start. So I have to see. So as I have picked up the new habit, which is meditation. I think that I will just keep, not meditation, the affirmations. I think I want to just keep doing it as the start of the thing, because this is something that I had stopped doing for nearly a year and a half.
Okay, so I think that is so important. I do it all the time. Yeah. I mean, that is so important, at night once and in the morning once.
No, I do the thank yous I've always done.
Okay,
I
gratitude you do.
always do the thank you in the night and a rewind of the day as
Okay.
a measure. But I think that this new thing about me starting the day with affirmation is the one that I want to continue.
Okay, I think let's pick that as, I mean, that let's sort, okay, this is the new habit because it's new only. You have just started in the new year.
Exactly. I just
So let
started
let
like
it
3 days
continue.
ago.
Okay.
What is the
That
book
is,
you wanted to show me? What are
yeah.
you showing?
No, this is about the morning activity, and the book is about in relation with whatever we have been talking for the past 10 minutes about this morning activity and pick a new habit. So there's this book called Make Your Bed. Okay, it's
Make
written
it.
by this US Navy, a person who was in US Navy, and he talks about how important it is, you know, when you start your day. And I have heard this from so many people, from so many
Mhm.
people who are enlightened or who have reached, you know, a level in their life where they are detached with the emotions. I mean, they have realized something in their life, they have achieved something in their life. So all of these people, they say this one thing, that when you start your day with something, uh, little difficult, maybe something that you really don't enjoy. For example, I won't say, okay, I enjoy brushing my teeth. No, or I enjoy making my bed. That is not something, you know, yeah, I can say I enjoy listening to music while making my bed, but
Mm,
making bed is not something I really would say I would enjoy, but it has more become like a part of the routine. So when you start
mm,
your day with a task and you complete it as the first thing, you're telling your brain, okay, already I've completed one task in the first 5 minutes of the day or first 10 minutes of the day. So that gives a literal boost to your brain for the rest of the day, which, and then the rest of the day becomes more disciplined, more productive.
mm,
So it has,
mm,
it has a lot of relationship with how the entire day is now going to be. Or uh, even if I face a challenge, maybe a person would say, how is it two, how are these two related? But yes, these two are related because morning, the in the morning itself, you have told your brain, for example, first time I did not snooze the alarm. So I've told, okay, I'm not someone who delays decision. If I've taken a decision, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock, I'm getting up. Then I have made my bed, or then I have done my affirmations, or whatever you are doing. So in that way, you are telling right in the morning to your brain that you are doing, you know, like you are someone who can face challenge. You are already doing the tough things
mm.
in the morning. So it gives you a lot of boost, the mental boost.
Yeah.
And so this book is all, I completed this book yesterday, but I haven't written on LinkedIn about it because I picked up another book already. So I've written about. So sometime soon I'll be making summary also, but it's a wonderful one. So even if
Mm,
sometime when you find time, you can always read this. Make Your Bed. It's a
mm.
small book.
I- mm.
Yeah, and it talks, so
So
it
this is
talks about this.
again with me also. For me, I have the option of not making my bed.
Mhm.
So it's all about, okay, make the damn bed. You know, it's like I have that option that I don't have to,
Mhm.
but I tell myself that, okay, how it's just gonna take 30 seconds. If I
Yeah.
don't do it, the maid is gonna come an hour later to make my bed. So just make the bed and then I like my room clean. But
Mhm.
it's not, again, I don't enjoy it, but I know that it needs to be done,
Yeah.
otherwise it's gonna just delay and create clutter in my life. So I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I have been doing this, I think first time when in 2017 somebody told me about this, and I thought, okay, this is utter, it sounds
Nonsense.
bad, but I thought it was utter nonsense. How can this decision be tied up to? And I was doing my PhD that time. So somebody said, you will PhD life will change. You see how, because in PhD it is all about facing challenges all the time. You do 10 days of experiment and then somebody says it is all failed. So you know that
Yeah.
frustration comes in. So you do this and then your frustration also will reduce. You'll get more emotionally balanced and all. And I was thinking, I don't know, but I'll try. Since then, I've been making my bed every single day. Even the day I went for operation, my husband was saying, okay, for today you leave. I may not do it very perfectly, like cleaning the room and all, but bed part, I will do it immediately once I get up.
I don't clean the room. I just make my bed.
Yeah,
And
and
even
then
if
I
it's
will.
not perfect, I don't do the creases. I don't do the.
Mm,
But as long as the pillows
mm,
are been stacked up
mm,
and the
mm,
main, sheet has been put on,
mm.
and it's, at least it's clean. So now this morning also it was hard, but
Absolutely.
it was
Yeah.
done.
At least something. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
I like
makes
it.
a lot of
Mm,
change. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so great. So we'll move to the next part, and that is C. So now this is more about, okay, I'll just come on. Okay. Okay, so C, in the C part, we will talk about, again, this is more about articulating your experiences. You
Mm,
can, so whatever internal experiences daily that you go through. Okay, let me just go to the reflection guide and tell you some internal experiences that you maybe for example, you have said that, Shubhra, I made my bed today, or today you have a meeting with me, or you have given some affirmations, and immediately after looking at the affirmations, maybe 3 persons replied back to you. Or maybe in our discussion today, when you mentioned the word struggle, I said, okay, what I look at it is not as a struggle. I look at it as more like a personality trait where I'm not happy or satisfied with just choosing one out of the 3 options when I know I'm capable of all 3. So some kind of those experiences, for example, after this session, you will have some sort of feelings in your mind, some internal experiences. So are you articulating them on a daily or at least on a periodical basis, or your experiences just come and go away and then there is no record of anything? So, and if there is no record, how do you plan to record it? Because this is very important part of coaching, both for yourself and your client. So articulating your internal experiences. And then I'll give you the activity, how to do that. I mean, how I do that, or how many people do that. Many coaches do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So first one is, of course, we have heard the word so many times, but kind of story bank. Yeah. And what we can do is, I mean, maybe you are already doing it. A story bank of small incidents. Maybe you can make a mind map and just pictures, New Year picture, something picture. And of course, that helps in a lot of ways for your sessions, for LinkedIn, so many things. But otherwise, also having a bank of story bank, you need not write down the entire story in a mind map, but today something beautiful in one moment you felt about it, just write down somewhere, and at the end of the day put it in the mind map. Something, it could be a picture, it could be a keyword, it could be your interaction with one person whom you met while you were going for a walk, or you're in during the affirmation something striked, or maybe in the loo something great striked, something like that, and you just put that word there, and the moment you put the keyword there, and maybe 1 or 2 more clues, so that you don't forget what it was in future, even after 10, 20, 1 month also, you should remember it. Next one is question bank. Yeah, after story, yeah. The next one is question bank. Okay. So in the question bank, again, this is more related to your topic. For example, in my case, it is mind mapping. In your case, even under leadership also, there will be some niche. For example, early career leaders or mid-career leaders, whoever, or aspiring people who want to become a thought leaders in the industry. So, or aspiring, so whatever they want, they will always have, they will not have more much knowledge about, might have read about leadership here and there in books, or maybe in some post and all of that. So what are the common questions that come to your mind, come to their mind? This is more from your clients or mentees perspective, not because you are an expert in the field, so you already know about it. So sometimes we assume that they also know. So I want that assumption to break for my clients. So starting from basic level to at least the not advanced level, because advanced level you will always do in coaching, but if you have some set of 50 to 70 or even 100, I say generally 100 questions, I have 100 questions for myself. So a question bank of those 100 questions, that, and it may not happen in one day, you will prepare this over a month or a week or 10 days, starting from what is leadership, types of leadership and all of that, to high level questions, some case studies, or anything, anywhere from today onwards or from tomorrow onwards. When you see something, read something, or even the book that you're reading, Robin Sharma's book. So Robin Sharma is all about, how a person can be leader without any title. We don't need any entitlement. You can be leader even while you're sweeping floor. That's what he says. So all those kind of questions that is coming to your mind, you just have to keep on. I mean, for example, you're writing qualities of leader, level of leadership. So all of this in the form of questions you put in that question bank. Yeah, top leaders, so everything. So this should be a rich resource for your future clients. And you may not want to give it all to them on the first day, but then it is there with you, for which level how much you need to give. So, and this will be very helpful, I mean, in the entire journey, and you can keep on increasing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this questions generally I don't do in mind map. You can do it in a mind map. What I do is I do it in this one. For example, I would write exactly how you're writing. I would define the areas, like of 100 questions, I have some 10 areas. Okay, this is basic level, this is for teachers, this is for students. If my client is a coach, I will be addressing this. If my client is a student, I will be addressing this. So I have areas, and then based on each area, I have some 10 questions, and those questions I type the full questions in an Excel sheet. I mean, in a spreadsheet, I would divide the question, so that whichever way you like, but you can do that. Because whom are you addressing? The questions may change based on that. Some basic questions may be common for all, but then the next level of questions will change. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some areas, yeah. And then
we can even put it under themes.
Yeah, absolutely. Themes, yeah.
Yeah.
So now once you have this, you will see that, you will be able to do this 100 questions, the story bank. Okay, one more part is there, and then I'll come back how we can all integrate this, and how will it fall in one place. So the next one is, I think we did story bank, question bank. The next one is adjectives. And now this is very interesting, but I love doing this, and a lot of us, we do adjectives, yeah. And this is related to affirmations, which you are already doing. I didn't know you are doing affirmations, so I have included this, but let me say. So what I will say is, write down a list of 50 words, I mean adjectives or nouns or verbs, to describe yourself. Okay. And yeah, 50 words, some 50 words. It could be a combination of adjective, nouns. I've written just adjectives, but yeah, it can be a combination of adjectives, nouns, and verbs to describe yourself, not your client. Right now, you can do this later with them, but right now the task is you have to tell yourself, yeah. Okay, describe yourself. And for this, you can ask, sometimes you will fall short of words for yourself. Okay, और क्या लिखे अपने बारे में? So you can ask your children, you can ask people around you, even maybe your house help, someone, what is that quality? Or during the conversation, find out one quality, how they describe you. Okay, and then can we choose 5 words that you hope to increase in your life this year? Out of that 50, those 5 words that you want to project yourself as this year. All those 50 are important, but at least in the next few months, maybe in the first half of the year, you will say, okay, these are the 5 words that's strong, and it will appear in your story bank, it will appear in your questions, it will appear in your sessions that you deliver, it will appear everywhere, maybe even in your affirmations also. You will use that word, some kind of word, and you will see that it makes a lot of change. When I was not an author at all, or I was not writing also, I was just writing for some small magazines here and there, but not a book, and I thought I would never be able, because it needs a lot of patience. So I started using the word author more. Okay, or I started using the word for example, I want to see people that, okay, people at my home say you are compassionate, but beyond the circle, they don't know. I have a different completely a different side, where I'm very much attached to plants and animals, and somehow, I mean, I can just give away everything for some cause that is useful to them. So very few people, maybe my mom, my spouse, they know, but beyond that point, they don't know. So I started using more of that in my stories, and not just to tell people who I am, but also, that sharing, and more people who are like-minded will be attracted towards me, or I will get attracted. So it has a long-term vision. So I started using some few words from there. Also, I picked up one word like compassion. So similarly, and now if you see, I have used, last year my word was gratitude. So in every place, everywhere, gratitude was coming. And then now I see that people tell me that, okay, the moment we hear gratitude, this Shubra's posts, or everywhere, wherever she's talking, she's someone, a very thankful person. She will always thank people. So something that you want to relate with your personality, at least one word. Something that you want to relate with your coaching, people should say, okay, when it comes to Kirandeep Sandhu, this is her principle, one word from there. So select these 5 words from this list of 50. And this 50 words also, you just see, okay, this is what people tell about me. You ask your children, everyone you ask in your family, your dad, everyone. So this is going to be very interesting when you do, and I would want you to do this exercise, at least the descriptive words before next Tuesday.
Yeah.
The rest, you can take your time. And all of this now will fall in place, because you see, the first thing we wrote was how to articulate your internal experiences. And all of this, whether it's a story bank, question bank, descriptive words, all of this can happen when you start articulating your internal experiences that you go through every day, or maybe periodically, some experiences that you feel, some thoughts, something that is coming, some ideas that are coming to your mind. All of that, if you start articulating them, so you will build this. And once you have all of this, if you see, it will be a rich resource for yourself. It's a very rich resource. Whether you want to go for tomorrow, so suddenly somebody says, okay, go, give us a 1 hour workshop or something, you actually don't have to prepare, have a lot of time. You just can pick up one question, 10 questions, one, and just give the answers, and that's a session. Share one internal story from that bank, and you already know, okay, what are the words you have to put, because you have 5 words that you are going to project this year. So you just mix and match, and then you have a session. You mix and match, you have an article. You mix and match, you have a book. So it'll be a rich resource, but this will need some time. I needed at least 1 month fully, dedicatedly, when I was not doing anything else when I started. And you can repeat this experience, I mean, this entire exercise for, let's say, for 3 months all over again, after 3 months, or every quarter, or every 6 months, you can repeat all of this. So yeah. So moving on, D, we will go to D now. And this is again a little different. This is not about activity or something. As I'm reading out, you can just note down the keywords. What concerns you at this moment? What concerns you at this moment? And you need not answer this to me. You can answer this to yourself, I mean, in your mind. What concerns you at this moment? And from there, take out a branch and write down, why is this important? Why is this important? Why is it important?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next question is, what difference? Yeah, from there only another branch. What difference would it make? What difference if this was sorted? What difference would it make if this was sorted? Okay. So now each one of us have, it may not be directly something. For example, I cannot say that, okay, for example, in your case, the book that is coming up, or the challenges you are facing, those may not be direct concerns, because you already have a solution for that. If you do this is going to fall in place. It's just that, some management needs to happen, some trade-off needs to happen. So I'm not talking about those. Something else, something there that is there in my subconscious mind. Maybe I have not shared it to anyone else, may not be with my spouse, may not be with my mentor, not to anyone. It's somewhere there inside, and this will, if you take time, you will see that, okay, there is some small concern, and how I can address that. And is it really a concern? So you can ask yourself, is it really a concern? What difference will it make? And sometimes we see, for example, the reason I'm sharing my example is it will help you understand yourself also better. What I did was, when I went deep and asked myself, I even made a mind map, hand drawn, about that concern, and I saw that, okay, I was just overthinking. Actually, this is not a concern, and even if it is there, it is not affecting the rest of my life. Yeah, this is one thing is there, something that I'm really struggling for so many years, a small part of my life which I cannot change, but then I only keep thinking about it. And when I ask my question, does it really make any difference to the rest of my life? No, because if I don't give all my energy and focus and attention there, it is there, it is a part of my life. I cannot just do away with it, but at the same time, it is not really creating any havoc or some big changes in the rest of the areas of my life. So that is one way. Another way is, yes, this is something I can really deal with. If I do this, or if I share it with another person, or if I take this actions, I can actually solve this issue. So whichever way it is, whether I solve or not, but I at least get to make peace with it. So some small concern, something, and I always keep it very personal, I mean, with others also, that we need not share everything with everyone. Some certain things are very personal, and we can keep it only in our mind maps and secretive mind maps, and it's okay. So something you can ask yourself, and this thing we can tell to our clients also when they meet us and after our 2, 3, 4 meetings, that how to find peace with whatever thing that is that is bothering them at the moment. Whether you solve it or not solve it, not everything can be solved. That also they need to understand. Not everything can be solved. There are certain things we just have to, and not everything can be, we cannot let go also. I mean, at least physically we cannot let go a lot of things.
Yeah.
Maybe mentally we can get detached, but suppose, just an example, if a person says, okay, I have a parents who would just not understand anything I do. Every time they are against it. But I don't know about whatever the culture you live in and whatever toxic or untoxic parents, whatever they say, but at the end of the day, can we really part away with our parents? They might be living somewhere else, but at the end of the day, they are parents. We just cannot. So what we have to do, we have to make peace. Okay, these are the traits I don't like about my parents, or they don't like about me. So other than that, what are the other things I like about them? So maybe I can practice gratitude. So we make a list of activities to find peace in that situation without going into confrontation or without losing my focus with my goals. So that is the entire thing. So we can keep on asking. I keep on asking this question to myself every 1 week, because the concern changes sometimes. What was bothering me last week is no more a botheration. Something new happened. Sometimes it's a long-term botheration. I have some issues that have been there in my mind for so long. So now I think that I have found peace with it. So something of that sort. And you can do this for your clients as well. So is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, E. This is the last one, E. This is the 5 steps. Yeah. So the last one is the purpose of your life. Not this, the purpose. I mean, we have spoken about small things. Now this is the main one, the purpose of your life. How you arrived at your purpose. A complete step-by-step approach from childhood. You can just write down a complete step-by-step. This you can articulate later on. A complete step-by-step approach. Yeah, a complete step-by-step, something like that you can write. Yeah, a complete step-by-step approach. Okay, so I want you to start from childhood. Okay, and you will see, you may say that it was example, somebody says that, even I may say that, okay, I started this online business only during pandemic, or mind mapping is only 12 years back. But then there will be some trait of you or some trait of me in childhood that was related to this. So this is again a very deep exercise, but whatever is the calling of your life. For example, you said you love training people, and how leadership came into that picture. Training is one thing, leadership is another thing, knowledge sharing is another thing. And then if you see overall your EEE, that model, and why you want to empower people in the first place, you can think about that. So some people, I mean, there might be two school of thoughts. One would be that you have seen your father and you have seen him doing all the social work. I mean, so you get inspired by him. The another school of thought can be that at some point of time in your life you felt less empowered because of certain situations. It could be the teachers, or sometimes a teenager also feels less empowered. Okay, or they feel that, okay, I am not being heard by people. So from lack also, sometimes what we have lacked in life, we want I mean, we don't want people to suffer the same thing. So we go and empower them. Or we get inspired by a person in our family who also empowers others, and you know that it can make a difference, or maybe a combination of both. So something. So right from your childhood, start at the age of 10 years, or maybe during teenage. And from there, weave a beautiful story of how, and why I'm saying weave, because it is already there in your life. You only need to, maybe you already have it also because you have shared in different platforms, but a complete story from childhood till date. And everything should be there. Who challenged, yeah, of course, who challenged you, who inspired you, situations different in between. Some in anybody's life there will be a lot of detours. You thought you would be going this direction, but life took a completely different path, yet you came back to your calling, life's calling. You still came and you found your life's calling. Maybe there was a detour, but it's okay. You still came back. The path chosen was where you wanted to go somewhere. In between, the path got changed, but you still have you have not given up. So all of that story together in one beautiful mind map, the purpose. And this you can keep it for yourself. I mean, you need not show it to me or anybody else also, but this is more like for yourself, because I mean, you can show it to others, but if you think that it is personal, you can keep it, and from there once in a while you can pick up for your future talks or whatever it is. You will see that everything is there, so you now know that in which talk how much you have to give. Not everywhere you would want to give everything. Yeah. And yeah, this is about the reflection guide of coaching, that A to E. And this you can do in like 5 weeks time. If you do take it one step, and with your client also, if you give just one activity per day, do A for the first week, B for the first week, second week. So you can ask them also to repeat this and take an account of what they are doing and how they have changed. And this, of course, this will change a little bit or not, maybe a lot, based on your niche, because you might be wanting to tell them specifically related to leadership, specifically related to personality development and all of that. So yeah. So how do you find this entire reflection guide?
Very good. Yeah, very good.
So, and I would want you to spend a significant amount of time with this. The only thing is, maybe some few things, that 50 words you could tell me, because the only reason I want to know is, this exercise, people say that after 10 words, they don't find good words for themselves. I said, go for 100 words. So, ask everyone and tell yourself, okay, these are all the good objectives. These are about me. This is what people talk about me. So this year, I'm taking this year as a year of, when I'll be talking about myself, I will encourage people to talk good things about themselves, because we talk a lot of good things about others. So I'm encouraging everyone I know, or I'm coming in contact with, that talk good things about yourself. Tell people that, okay, this I offer. I mean, even if it sounds bad, that you are shameless, let it be shameless. And just go to the world, because you have good things to offer. Just go to the world and say that, yeah, I offer this.
Yeah,
so this year I'm going to be focusing on that, telling myself and to others as well. So yes, this was about the coaching thing that I really wanted to share. And now, yeah, we can have some questions.
As such, I don't have any questions, Subra.
Okay.
I will work on it. This year for me is all about my personal growth. But mine, and that's my key word this year. One of the words that personal growth, in the sense that I need to invest in myself. Last 2 years have gone in investing in others. So
investing in self, yeah.
So investing in self, because as I said, to give more, I need to gain more.
Absolutely.
So upgradation of my skill set, my knowledge set, everything has to go one step further up. So whatever I've learned, I have shared, and it's not that it's empty, but I want to reinvest again, even more this year, and do a lot of things for myself this year.
Excellent.
So
what is health one of your goals this year? I mean, when you say self-investment.
So health has always been a goal. Health is always, that is just
it is non-negotiable.
Yeah, so that, although it should be more prioritized, because last year I didn't give it. Health has always been there, but last year it was not that a great a year. So this year is definitely back in priority, number one. But it's all about, so as I said, last 2 years has been all in investing in people and investing in their growth and seeing everyone grow, which is great, because I feel the happiest when I see them grow. But I think that this year I need to go one step more.
Wow.
From where?
That's amazing, actually. No, I'm here. Yeah. So that's amazing, I think, because, unless as you said, that we cannot give away from unless we invest in ourselves, we cannot give away when we are already lacking. And it's not that you are lacking, you already have so much, but then at some point you say that, okay, I need to level up, I need to ramp up or something like that.
Absolutely.
And not only that,
Yeah.
you also
So
need
this is
sometimes,
all about self.
and
All about
sometimes
self.
we
And
also feel
it's
that we should
becoming
not get
selfish.
stagnated. No, that is good. That's what I'm saying. That selfish is one word. And then when my husband was saying that 50 words, the 50 adjectives and all, and we did it a long time back. So when we were saying, I was asking my mother-in-law, so tell some good things about myself, okay? I said, no, this is very important. Yeah, this is very important because even my mother-in-law also should say something good about me. So,
Very
it
good.
so it was
Very
funny, but
good.
then
So
selfish is one word I told myself. You know, I will be selfish and shameless. I said I will be shameless and selfish. Shameless because I will go and tell the world about myself. Yeah. There's connection issue, I think. Yeah. It's my end, it's showing good thing. I mean, the network. Can you hear me?